Prudent.
Oke, sekarang pertandingan
Control.
kedua.
And very nice from CCNC. Oh, he's not going to find him here. It looks like he's waiting for it, but Matumba.
GH, they're going again on bottom lane. Pycat's going to use his doppelganger, just trying to get away. It's a good stack, and that's why Mind Control has that Firefly down with the Sticky Napalm level 4. Just try and burn through it. PPD will probably try and time this Nova right if he can catch GH out in the tree line. CCNC even comes in looking for this, and Zai TP's in, but he doesn't get the sprout onto Mind Control.
Didn't get the right angle on the... I think this is not where he wanted to teleport in. He teleported in a bit of an awkward spot and had to try to blind cast the Sprout. Not having boots on the Nature's Prophet either. This lineup is actually just moving pretty slowly across the board. Nobody has good move speed in their team.
Nice toss in from CCNC. He actually threw his tree and I think got like 10 CS of spiders with one swing. Really trying to make sure that Matumba doesn't have a free time. They've even got the Observe Ward blocking up the camp.
All right, this time around Optic will get bounty runes, so that's good news. Looks like an even trade-off for 2.
Yeah, bottom lane though, Mind Control's looking for the kill. Land Flash, you have Lasso up and running. PL needs to be able to doppelganger away. Rolling Boulder, they kept the control going so long, and PPD, mercy, mercy, mercy. The Crystal Maiden is now 0-6. And life is very hard for her, but it's the diminishing returns. There has to be diminishing returns eventually on this. Maybe with the Haster and CCNC can work with Zion. They have the Observer Ward down. They're looking for the Brood, but Matumba's in pretty deep.
He's playing this very well. Has a good read on what's going on.
Rolling Boulder in, they're looking for a double. Kick is going to not be there. They turn on the Magnetizer set. Oh, the kick is still there. CCNC can't escape from this. Toss was still on cooldown. Sakura swapping Zai back into the fight, and then the perfect body block and control. The Tubberman's been keeping up, but now he's ahead. #1 on the net worth with those 2 kills.
I've talked about this during the group stage as a similar, like, a concept that you see some teams play better than others. I think Liquid's one of the absolute best at this, is playing around your strong heroes. They take advantage of, you see, they realize, okay, Miracle's not in the best position in this game. We're going to help him a bit, and then we will put so much pressure on the rest of the map that Miracle gets to be a force in this game. He didn't really truly have to play comeback just because of how much they played around Mind Control and now around the Brood of Matumba.
Pycat looking for a GH. He's just so damn good. Mind Control. His Firefly will wear off. They summon up the treants. They want to go in deep. GH wild. Rolling Boulder this time gets him into safety at least. But his kicks have been totally off point.
And it just seems so logical, right, when you look at it. We have this strong hero that can do something right now. We should take advantage of this, play to that hero's strengths, so we get fights. And in turn, if we do it properly, it relieves pressure on the other lanes. And that's basically what's given Miracle this he's almost back to 3rd net worth in this game.
Nice Sprout reveal on bottom Mind Control. With the fortification of the Dire creeps, it keeps the tier 1 tower alive in middle, which is what Matumba is trying to take at the moment. Was allowing them a little bit more pressure onto the tier 1 tower with the rotation of CCNC. You kind of hope they would get more out of this.
Yep.
But it doesn't happen for an Optic fan. Pycat just TP's back into farm. He is going to go that Diffuser Blade after the Tread Sequela.
This Vanguard on Mind Control is actually really good this game. When you're snowballing this hard from the laning stage, you just look at, okay, how can I be the biggest pestilence in fights that they can't deal with? Largely he can ignore Treants, largely he can ignore the PL illusions, and just this early on, they are not killing him without a Reaper, I think. And Necrophos doesn't want to go there. So he can feel very confident. I'm curious to see if Mind Control goes for a dagger now, or if he even goes just a full-on combat build with Vanguard and Pipe, and just runs into them and fights. It's like, try to kill me. I have a swap behind me.
You can get the Blink Dagger later if they really require it. That's what will allow him to at least catch up to Zai. And Zai's a threat, but a threat you can see coming from a very long way away. And Mind Control maybe thinks about the fight. The Nova will scare him off. And again, Matumba attacks in towards the mid. Pycat was there, looking for a denial. Has to doppelganger himself away. Matumba already burned off the Insatiable Hunger. 33 TPs over. Kuro's nearby. But they don't have extra support. Zai is currently farming up inside the Radiant jungle.
And it might not look that big, but this TP from 33 is actually going to matter quite a lot. If he gets spotted on a ward, I think they saw him in the river, so now they know he's crossing toward bottom. And this is Miracle's cue to just play aggressive top. He knows there's no Necrophos here. He TP'd mid. There's no other way he could have got here in time, so you just redistribute your resources. Sure, you guys can have the bottom tower. You, in some way, you kind of argue they over-rotated. They brought 4 heroes down here.
Great ops. Mind Control instantly has his smoke being broken. And Optic do want to try and fight. As he said, like, they have their own Observer Ward. So 33 will walk under it. The T1 tower was lost on bottom. CCNC has Blink Dagger ready to initiate. But he's not finding his target, so they instead add pressure onto bottom lane. Mop up the creep wave, push the tier 2 tower a little bit. But Liquid are happy with this. Straight Roshan trade-off. Optic Gaming are nearby, but they cannot contest this. They do not have the power.
Brood and Ursa is such an exceptional Roshan combo. Very easy. Aegis, they put it on Matumba, man. This Brood is getting ready to rock and roll. They know he's the richest hero in the game. And arguably a better hero to have Aegis on than Ursa. Usually Ursa with Aegis, it can be a little bit tricky, like which life do you enrage? It's similar to when you have BKB. Do you BKB your first or second life?
Bottom lane attacks coming in. They need to get that stun control and then follow up with a Reaper's Snipe. The Mind Control hasn't taken enough damage just yet. He's so damn tanky with the one charges too. They'll get the lasso out, so Tiny just has to remain for a moment and they swap in Zai. No escape for him. He's not even beginning his TP. He just remains stationary. And Optic lose too. They do not claim that bottom tower and they don't even in any way threaten the Aegis.
Oh, looks like the Aegis going to threaten them instead. Found the wrong one. Good move again by Pycat. If the right one gets found there, he actually dies. Matumba can easily solo this Phantom Lancer after Doppelganger has been expended. We were looking at this stronger. Exactly. We were looking at this game and we were looking at, okay, Optic, you need to get this Phantom Lancer to a strong state in the late game and not lose full control of the map on the way there. And Liquid are just dominating them. Again, this is a huge advantage. And especially Lancer not doing better than this in lane hurts, because you, ideally at this point, you want to have this defusal completed. So he's like 1,000 to 2,000 gold behind par for the course, I would say. And
they're going up to top. Miracle jumps in, goes up the side. The Sprout pushes Miracle. Well, pushes him away and leaves Miracle contained. But it's so easy to cut out, always with Quelling Blade in hand.
And look at Mind Control's item build. How is anyone gonna die when this Batrider has Crimson Pipe minute 20?
Oh, I know how everyone can die, but they're all Optic players.
Yeah,
Pycat initiated on, CCN3 throws a tree in, and he doesn't actually blink to go for the Avalanche Toss. In fact, he's diffusal up. Matumba turns around for the fight, so now the Avalanche Toss will arrive, but Necro has to help defend. The Death Pulse can chase the spiders.
And that's all Matumba wanted. Diving for that kill will take forever. He was hoping to get a response out of a hero, and he forces the TP. That's good enough.
Oh, here comes CCNC. Avalanche and Toss. They'll combo together nicely to get the kill on Kuro. Yeah, it's problematic. Yule Scepter up. Is his defensive one.
Overwhelmed. Again, GH combining with Matumba. GH has been in 15 kills in 17 minutes on this Earth Spirit. Just really excellent read on the map, like where he can have the biggest impact. He plays with the Batrider for a long time. They trash that lane. He's like, okay, that's good enough. Let's go and play with Matumba Man, who just got the Fusel. They get these kills mid. It's just very systematic good play, really. Yep. It's not much else to say. They're doing all the right things.
Do they take out all the remaining out of towns? Like, do they continue to look for fights before they go high ground?
I think they grab the top tier 2 at least. These bottom towers are pretty annoying to get to. The distance from the bottom tier 2 of their own to that tower, it's a very long reach. When you've taken Roshan, it's a better play because then the enemy team can't really trade off by going for Rosh while you're pushing these bottom towers really far away. But they don't really have that much value right now. I think they'd rather take the top tower and then go there, if anything. Or if they're feeling confident, they could look to even higher ground from the top area.
It's a smart
see what they do.
They're coming after Miracle on top lane. Pycat will need to slow him down. But the ping is already on the way. So Kuro's pinging it out. They have a lot of vision around that bottom dire shrine. That's why Matumba is just farming that area. So the ping came in. Vision close, the Nova. It does not clip Miracle.
Sixth sense there for Miracle. When you go for smokes like these, every second matters because it becomes more and more apparent what Optic are doing. Brood is covering the right side of the map with an Observer Ward placed by Kuro. The mid lane is empty, and nobody's at the bottom tower. So where could Optic possibly be? I think Miracle there, I thought he was going to back earlier. He really stretched that as far as he could without getting caught. But the right read, and they will be going for the bottom tower after all. So now that they've forced the Optic team to go top to Miracle, who was just pressuring this tower to, well, if you guys don't come here, I'm going to take the tower. If you do, we'll just swap to the other side of the map. And they will grab at least one here, maybe two, we'll see. Top lane.
3 TBs up towards the top lane. ES came into the tier 2 tower. Kuro will arrive with mind control. No blink dagger available, so lands from Pycat. Tried to slow him down, but he doesn't have doppelganger. 33 can't really save him. Prophet's coming in through the rear. They'll lasso and drag Pycat down. Now he's not got doppelganger available. The kick and silence is pretty good from GH, but there's a lot more support arriving in from Optic. GH in the tree line, they'll take anything they can, but CCNC once more. Avalanche and toss onto Miracle, but CCNC interrupted by the magic missile of Kuro. Miracle just has to enrage and TP out, and somehow GH is still running away from Pycat all the way up on the north. 33 can't find his own target. Maybe with the Yor Scepter they can bring down Kuro. Reaper Scythe is still available. Finally the kill happens up on the top. Liquid heavily split, but mind control done yet. The flame break on the 33. He'll go Shroud and get that regeneration out. Zai finishes up the tower. Mind control still can't get closer. However, maybe when PPD is this slow, they can actually do it. He has to frostbite and run to the side. CCNC's got combination available. PPD will finally drop, and they just want to leave the Reaper Scythe on the bottom. Finds the kill onto Matumba. A huge kill, down for so long, and a huge amount of money in for 33.
Matumba was down here this whole fight. He didn't TP to his team, just splitting the map, getting the bottom tier 2.
Money. Oh, okay.
No money.
He stopped to summon trees.
Oh, it's actually hard to kill this courier because it has a plate mill. That's pretty convenient, right? It doesn't hit very hard with a plate mill on it. Well, the Brute's damage bottom, I would say, is worth a death. He took the tier 2 and 1/3 of the tier 3. There might have been a time there for Matumba Man to back out, but what he did force was the rotation from both the PL and the Necro to come down there, and that's what secured Liquid that fight in the end. Had he escaped that without losing his life, it would have been very clean from them, but mistakes do happen.
Yep. Yeah, she have a quick look at this fight again up on top. So underneath the tier 1 tower, CCNC already forced a retreat, but they just wanted to force this so hard. You
see Miracle casting the Enrage there in anticipation of the Reaper's Scythe, but that makes 33 hesitate for a moment. His blink comes off cooldown, he gets out. Now he uses they catch this Venge, but they can't Reaper him, and I don't think he wants to either. Good thing for 33, he didn't actually. He ends up using that bottom to kill that Broodmother.
Yeah. Yeah, she kind of wondered like what this fight would have been like if PL didn't go chasing after a support. Have a breather.
Why am I so greedy? That's the face of a guy saying, why am I so greedy?
But Tubberman, he's meant to be the unbridled aggression. To get back into their farming, Zai with Wrath of Nature just keeps pushing out the lanes. And this is where Optic can stall things up. The fact that Nature's Prophet, he's finished up a Spirit Vessel. He can keep the side lanes going. They've got great wave clear Optic. So pushing high ground is a very risky thing for Liquid. One person goes down to Reaper's Scythe. They're dead for a very long time. If you want to commit the buyback, sure, but it's Optic who can defend quite comfortably from range.
If they hold out long enough, this Phantom Lancer will be pretty scary. Yep. So absolutely, that is...
He's catching up on the net worth. He's almost the same as the Ursa. Now they go towards the mid, but Kuro has the distance.
They didn't have enough information about the position of all the Radiant heroes to commit for that kill, and it's also a low value kill anyway, so they don't want to risk anything to get this Venge. Liquid again with a good map read.
Yes, but Matumba waiting for a fight. He's just sitting on top of this Ancient for the last, like 20, 25 seconds. Pushed out an Observer Ward. Zai actually did that on the other side of the trees, so Matumba shouldn't be aware of it.
Yep. Oh.
He's looking for someone to come and farm.
He's lurking. This is pretty dangerous if he just goes up the high ground here.
Comes over, goes up to CCNC, Avalanche and Toss will kill off his army. With the Wrath of Nature, Matumba just turns on the Insatiable Hunger. Pyke.
That's a bit crazy.
Underneath the shrine, he doesn't want to commit for this, but he will when there's extra support. Mind Control's got Blink and PPD. Not again, not like this. He's going to be jumped, lassoed back, and the Crystal Maiden is mauled.
This play is really similar to the Alchemist play from last game where Miracle didn't ulti, or didn't have it, and ran at the enemy team. It's like, Matumba, this looks like such an awful position. Like it looks like he's overdiving. The whole team is behind him in a smoke, and Optic actually with a really good read to not commit for that Brood kill. You see, you're just looking at the situation like, this is kind of a crazy dive. Where's everybody else?
Yep. And they gave the trade-off in the meantime. 33 pushing out this bottom lane. Like he wants to get out of here. Zai will die, and 33 won't have to take the same sacrifice, but he has an Aghanim Scepter fully completed 24 minutes in on 33.
Yes. Could be a big item. They still have the problem of getting the heroes down to half health in the first place.
Yeah.
But once they get over that step, it will get interesting. So CCNC with a Shadow Blade should be able to do that on most of the Radiant cores. And obviously Pycat with just 1 or 2 extra items. Time is ticking. Liquid are not actually gaining. Look at the goal graph. It's
plateauing.
It's been 6 minutes and they're not really making progress. That's not necessarily a problem for now, but if they do take a bad fight, it could become problematic. This Roshan should belong to them.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what they choose to do with it, if they try to high ground or not. It's still,
and that's the big
scary.
enabler, right? Like Team Liquid need to have this Aegis and cheese so they can just go high ground, so they can take the fight that you're talking about.
And I think the key in this coming fight is that Mind Control tries to find Necrophos. If he manages to do that, that would be really big. For him, though, he doesn't have a Force Staff in this game with the build that he went. He went for a way more teamfight heavy, less skirmishy item build. So if he does catch this Necro, counterplay is available. He can't Force Staff the Necro into his team, so he's got to be a little bit careful with how he goes about it. You don't want to lasso Tiny, because it lasts 1 second.
Yep.
And Phantom Lancer is a pretty difficult catch, so it should be pretty clear that he wants...
GH can be revealed by this Observer Wall, but the Blink Lasso has already come out. Zai's going to get caught. GH will be there to support, and PPD for once is not the man who's dying. Oh, no, okay. He flew the other direction, almost full-on Caster Curse.
PPD was aware that all their lockdown was used, both Lasso and Kick, I believe, went into that kill on the Nation Prophet, so was able to get out. Miracle.
Yeah, he's got that Observer Ward, just watching the PL Illusions farming. It's very thick coverage of the Dire jungle. And wherever there isn't a ward, there's GH or there's a Broodmother.
Alright.
Manta Style is done for the Phantom Lancer.
Pycat's starting to get somewhere now. He's still, I think, his next item, if he gets that without them losing more than maybe 1 lane of barracks, this game could get really interesting for Optic. But it's a big if. They're 12,000 down. They could have Aegis and Cheese. They have the high ground position right now that they're trying to strike from, which is being pinged out by PPD, is aware that this seems like the most likely place for them to be right now based on their vision. And good thing about this Nature's Prophet pick is that, well, when Liquid tries to start getting into this high ground position, the split push is kicking in. 33, as well as Treant's top, are pushing this down quickly, and I think Liquid will retreat and not get to high ground just yet.
Yeah, you see this, it's the heroes too, they're willing to sacrifice. Well, yes, you want to have like items on the 33. He's already got the Aghanim Scepter. He's got the item for that high ground defense. And Zai, well, he's the sacrificial lamb. The rest of the time, it's making sure PL has that space to farm up.
CCNC.
Need to get bigger. CCNC does get initiated on. Support is nearby, but they are not going to help him out. CCNC can do the avalanche toss and hurt Matumberman, but you hurt him, but you don't kill him. He's still got the Aegis. Instant movement, 33's on bottom lane. They're pushing up the other side lane, and they do find a fix it up. 9th death for PPD. And they also saw Zai, I think, for half a second. They just keep pinging him out too.
Sometimes Dota is really hard. Sometimes it's just really, really hard. It's one of those games. Being Crystal Maiden in this game is really hard.
Yeah. But at least now they know where Ursa and GH move. Both TP down to the shrine underneath the Dire Obs. So Optic can play around this. Kuro and Matumba rotating down towards the bottom lane as well. With Manta, it's so easy for Phantom Lancer to dodge out of these areas. Hey Zai, you want to kill that ward in time? Yeah, he does.
He does.
154 gold. I like it.
So Zai going for that Force Staff without, he still doesn't have boots. Gets obviously some movement speed from that Spirit Vessel, 30 movement speed, so it helps, and he has a movement speed talent. So still moves at a decent 362, and this Force Staff is crucial for his team. That's how they can try to disengage from a Diffusal Broodmother, it's how they can try to disengage from an Ursa blinking in going for a bash. It will, however, not save them from Lasso.
Yeah.
And Mind Control with that newly picked up Yules now has 2 disables in skirmishes.
The push is coming again up on top lane, but Team Liquid, remember, they've got the Aegis Immortal, they've got the cheese, they want to be reaching the base. Even if it's just to kill off the tier 3 tower, that will open up the shrines for, well, demolishing. So they smoke up, 4 heroes together. And who's going to be the target? Right now, Prophet still has a lot of momentum on top lane. CCNC's farming in the jungle, getting very close towards that Shadow Blade, but they need to hold their buyback money too. Tiny and Necro both have buyback available, and here's Matumberman testing the defenses, putting the toe in the Optic Blake. And how cold's it going to be? PPD. Oh, that's cold. That's real cold. PPD just gets exploded again. 43 seconds down. Blink lasso. Big target. They called out 33. There needs to be some kind of save. See where is the extra help? The swap back. They just keep going one by one. Luckily, there's a lot more Pycat where that came from. Chasing up Takuro, burning off the mana. Pycat now has to use the mana cell, but he waited. So the diffuser blade follow-up is up. Pycat does not have buyback available. Necro is used his. Miracle has burned the BKB. Now, you may have taken the top tier 2 tower and Zy's reaching the tier 3 tower on top, but you are losing your mid if you're Optic. And who wants to come back to defend this? Zy's already beginning his TP out, and it's Mind Control who's sent back for defense. They don't care. Miracle and Matumba will be happy to continue this fight.
That was the one lasso they needed. The exact target at the exact time. Mind Control just waited for it patiently. When's Necro coming in?
Send him up, bring him back down again. Remember, there's still the Aegis Immortal on Matama, but Avalanche, can he toss him back in? No, the silence is up, and CCNC, the triple kick, GH, God, so good, triple kill for Miracle. They're gonna look for the Ultra. This will be a dieback on 33, wait for the inevitable. Matama is just a beast. Miracle will take the Ultra kill, and that really is probably the game. They're in fact doing it. GG Cole is gonna come out in just a bit as the GG pushes up. Pycat is sole defender for Optic Gaming, and there is no way he can hold back the Horde.
Liquid just looks so good, man. They're making all these super good decisions with which heroes they put there, how they play their lanes, how they move around, spell casting, everything's on point. They look in really good shape, honestly.
Yeah.
That's
GG.
That's it.
Team Liquid have done it. Took half an hour for game 2, but it belongs to them, and so does top 6. They are the defending champions, and they are playing champion level Dota.
They made it look easy this game, I gotta say. This time, they didn't have this super big Alchemist time bomb that you had just had ticking. This game was more about just crisp execution. Like I said, movement, laning. They just itemization.
That ticking.
Oke, 329 itu easy. Terlalu mudah tim Liquid. Break kan?
Six guaranteed. That's not the end of the story as far as they're concerned. Now, they've got one eye on the prize already. But fantastic performance by the defending champions. And commiserations to Optic, but they are not out of the tournament. They do drop down for a second chance in the lower bracket. Back with our panel members. Gods, what did you make of the performance overall, the best of 3?
Liquid's just too good at Dota, really.
Do we need to ban them?
It's just insane how talented they are as a team. Some of the plays they're making where like GH is rolling into their preemptive swap. Individually, they're just, I think they outmatch Optic in almost every role. And that's with Optic having some amazing players like Zai, PPD. And everyone on that team you could say is one of the world-class players, but Liquid just has them beat.
Yeah. GH is a bit of a god. Did make one mistake in there, Mr. Kick. Terrible. Terrible. Disgraceful.
Yeah, I mean, that was... that bottom lane was quite a thrashing.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that Earth Spirit Bat Rider combo just completely destroyed everything that it seemed that Optic had planned. They took over so much. I think GH had like 90% kill involvement throughout the game as well, just running around making everything happen.